Hello, everybody. Welcome to the success story series that is going on for the RBI Grade B 2023 recruitment cycle. And today we have Mr. Ritam with us, who has recently cleared this examination, but it was a long journey. Talking about his education qualification, he has done first of all BTech, he did, then MTech, he did from IIT Kharagpur. And then after that, he got the opportunity to pursue the PhD from the University of Utah, USA. But due to some family emergency, he had to come back. And then afterwards, he decided what to do next, right? So apart from this, Abhi, I just gave you a gist, and let me tell you his preparation journey for RBI. It started from 2018, and finally he got the fruit of his hard work in 2023 cycle, right? So what was the journey all about? What were the mistakes that he committed, and then he rectified it, which helped him to clear in this particular cycle? We are going to know each and everything about from him only. But before that, let us welcome Mr. Ritam on EduTap. Hi, Ritam, welcome, and congratulations on your big achievement.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a privilege to join EduTap, and I thank you again.
All right. Okay. So, first question that I have, that always you have always been a scholar academically. So you did MTech, and then you wanted to study more about it. Then you went for PhD, but then you had to come back. Okay, that's one thing, right? But then when you came back, you might have, you still would have continued in PhD only from India, or maybe if not that you would want to do, you could have then gotten into your field, and you could have gotten a very good job because of your academic background that you have, right? But why did not you choose these things and went towards the competitive examination? That's the first question. And another, usually it has been observed that who are academically scholars we have in India, they usually pursue UPSC examination, but you did not pursue that you went towards the banking examination. So what made you prioritize banking over maybe other competitive examinations, be it UPSC also, and also from your field? Like, why did you choose this?
So, ma'am, first of all, I went for PhD in 2017, and I had to leave that field for some personal reasons. And when I was trying to go back there once again, there was a geopolitical issue because Mr. Trump was the president of USA at that time. And as you know, the most of the students who go to USA, they are mostly fully covered through scholarships because it is a the cost of living is high there.
Yeah.
But in second time, I did not get the scholarship because the funds are frozen. Because the Trump on the Congress of that time did not allow the funds to be diverted towards the immigrants.
Hmm.
So going back there was not an option, and I already lost 1 year because of this much, and I did not want to lose any more years. And it was until that point, engineering was everything that I wanted to do. Uh, but it was quite shocking for me. But I did not. I just wanted to kickstart my career, and I thought that a switch to some other career would be a good idea because, from my point of view, that was a dead end in the engineering because I looked at my course mostly from academic point of view. I wanted to get into academics,
Yeah.
which was not possible in India, at least in short term. And doing PhD and postdoc in that family condition, and it was not very lucrative choice. So I just wanted to start my career, make any switch, but do it in as soon as possible because
Yeah.
I needed the job that time, and I thought rationally, what are my options? Administrative jobs, teaching jobs, or
Hmm.
banking jobs, or any other private job. But I did not wanted to go private sector straight away. So I do not have much inclination towards administrative job. I don't think that is a good fit for me. So
Yeah.
I thought SSC could be one, or banking could be one. But at that time, the SSC was kind of hodgepodge because again, some issues were going on in 2017. If you can remember, there were some court cases and something like that.
Yeah,
So
it was very
that
slow
led,
process before it. They used to take
yeah,
2 years just to declare result of one particular cycle. So that was a very
yeah,
long process. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. So that led me to banking, and I did not have any prior inclination towards banking, to be honest, before that. But today, I think I am proud of the decision I made. I'm very proud banker right now, and I'm hopeful that I will be equally good and successful in central banking as well
Yeah.
in the future.
And this, even this today's session, this interview, it started on a positive note because like you're proud to be a banker. Usually what the interviews that we have taken, and okay, it depends from person to person and their wants in life, but usually it's been observed like they did not like the normal banking sector, and that is where they wanted to switch to something else. That is where they prepared for the examination. But it's really good to see that you had that clarity, first of all, that okay, I won't go for UPSC, I'll just go for banking, and you love your job. That's very important thing to do.
Right.
And this what makes your life better, and even the
Mhm.
opportunities in future better. All right. So so currently you are in Bank of India, right? And you started this banking examination journey a few years back, and simultaneously you were giving RBI examination as well, right? In between 21 you got married as well. So this journey
Mhm.
that was going on, so it was like you were happy, satisfied with your job. Now you're married also, now your family is like it's happy go situation that's going on, right? But why you were still striving for like RBI? What made you strive for it when you, we can say that you had everything, right? Everything was smooth. So but still there must be some zeal that you want to join RBI. Like what was it?
Yeah, so ma'am, when I got into Bank of India in 2018, I was more relieved than anything else. At least I got something to start with.
Yeah.
But I was not content because I thought, yes, okay, I have got into banking. I have made a big switch in my career. Let's not make any other switch, but let's go to the top in the banking
Yeah.
sector itself. And I started exploring what are the opportunities that I can get from the banking sector itself. So I got two options. One is RBI, another is SEBI. NABARD is also there, but personally I have not tried for NABARD even. So RBI and SEBI was the two options I finalized, and I have not given any other examination except these two ever in my life after I got into Bank of India. So because slowly it started as a dream. Of course, getting into RBI mm, became an instant dream in
Yeah.
2018. Even if I had got into SEBI, I would have probably again sit for
Prepared for
RBI
RBI. Yeah.
because that was
The
the
heart,
ultimate dream.
yeah, the heart wants what it wants. And being a
Right,
banker, you would love to be part of RBI.
right. But slowly, as I went through my journey, I have understood that the dream has become my compulsion. Slowly over the years, I quitting was not an option anymore. In 2019, I went up to interview, but I got a very poor marks in interview. I got 13 out of 50. Uh, that was very disheartening and shocking because if you get a lower marks in say quant or there is in English
Yeah.
or in phase two itself, you can rectify it, right? If you
Yeah.
can study, you can rectify it. But if you normally what happens to aspirants is I have seen if they get a lower marks in interview, it is a question mark on their personality or the suitability for the job itself.
Yeah.
So it was a kind of lowest point in my preparation journey because it put a question mark whether I will ever be even eligible or suitable for the post itself.
True.
But then I got motivation from everywhere around me, because most of my family and my colleagues as well. To say maybe the 15 minutes went as bad as it could. Maybe you could have not given a good account
Yeah.
of
True.
myself.
Sometimes
Of
luck
myself.
is not with us.
Right.
Yeah.
So I started again in 2021. It was I could not prepare for my marriage and everything. In 2022, I myself was infected with COVID, so I did not go for the examination. In 2023, I decided that it will be probably my last attempt, and
Yeah.
I have to give it all for myself. And I have started from zero, and hopefully I have gone all the way. So
Right.
that's it.
Right. So I also want to ask one thing. Although you have said that when you scored very low marks in interview, that did impact you. But like all in all, if you look at it, you always had a very good academical background and you have
Mm-hmm.
always been among the toppers. And then you're preparing for a certain exam since 2018. But every year,
Mm-hmm.
due to one reason or another, you're not able to make it. Isn't it like
Right.
frustrating? Because it's like you have always been on the topper side, but then now you're facing failure in
Mm-hmm.
academics, not like something else, but in academics you're failing. So there must be some doubts that would have come, and how did you handle those thoughts? Because many time it usually happen that when you are good academically, you enter competitive examination world. A lot of aspirants they enter, but then when they face failure, it just stuck them that what was it all about, the academically performing
Mm-hmm.
they were that performance they were having before. So you must also having those thoughts, and how did you overcome them, if you could please share?
Yeah. Um, when I started preparing in 2018, I kept the dream in front of myself that I have to become an RBI officer one day, if not today, then tomorrow. I did not keep a timeline in front of mine because it just puts additional pressure, unnecessary pressure. So if I fail today, it's okay. If I fail tomorrow, it's also okay. But someday I will be in RBI. I knew. One failure did not demotivate me that much. In terms of failure, academically speaking, yes, I understand that having a good academic background, can demotivate some, but it did not demotivate me much because I understood that all the candidates who are appearing in the RBI, at least in the final stage, all are very intelligent and bright students, having
Yeah.
a very advanced career itself. So I am just like one of them. It may go my way, not may go my way, because thinking too much only creates pressure on myself. So
True.
it did not demotivate me like that. But yes, it was frustrating on from point of view from the point of view of my family because the sacrifices that we make are nothing
Yeah.
in front of my sacrifices or the compromises that are made by the family.
Yeah.
So it is disheartening and it is disappointing from them.
And
That's
then
it,
finally you
nothing else.
got the result. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that even like the sacrifices they were making in terms of the timing that you could give to them, but at least
Mhm.
like they must have been they also had the faith in you, and especially because you already won in bank. So I hope that I think that was not much of the that was one of the reason why they might not have much more pressurized or maybe shown disappointment to you, because you already have something in your hand, and that was the additional thing, the better lifestyle for your family that you wanted.
Mhm.
And you finally got that. So that's great. All right, so now let's talk about the this journey of and the sources that you refer to for the examination. So
Right.
you started your preparation along with the job. So definitely you from the start only you had very less time compared to the other aspirants
Mhm.
who are preparing full time. So I want to ask that was there some prioritization that you have done from the starting itself, that okay, I am only going to go for specific subjects or specific topics, or you have always been the kind of student who would want to complete all the syllabus for the exam?
So, ma'am, if I talk about this year, 2023, because the subjects and the syllabus has considerably changed over the years
True.
since when I started. Right. So, what I decided is, first of all, my branch that I am currently posted in, it's a rural branch. It's situated in a border area, which is approximately 90 kilometer from my home in Kolkata.
Okay.
So yeah, so I have to commute every day. I commute every day 90 plus 90, 180 kilometers per day to locals and whatnot. So I leave my home approximately 6:30 a.m. and I get to home approximately 10 p.m. Every day it's a routine for me. So what I thought is let's utilize this commutation time itself.
Mm.
By locals, actually, what I did is I used to catch one early train because the train that goes early in the morning that go the passengers pressure is much less, so I
Yeah.
can devote my time to study because there is less disturbance.
Mm.
So I used to do that, and almost 2 and 4 hours. That is a solid study time for me. And for prioritization, see, Kiwari has been a strength for me throughout. So I have never practiced any theory. For in 2023, I gave one or two free mocks, and that's it, and nothing else. Luckily, went through. And for phase two, I had to put a lot of efforts because in 2019, I understood two things. The most important part, unfortunately, it is the interview. It is the kind of a veto thing
Yeah.
as far as RBI recruitments are concerned currently. So and whatever input I got from 2019 interview is that you have made a switch in your career from engineering to banking, but you have not put any effort that I can see. And that is the input from I got from the panel itself, that you have not done any courses, relevant courses. So I in the last 3 years I have done a lot of courses like GIB, CIB. I have done some courses on central banking itself,
Mm.
and I am actually working on MSME financing. So I have done
Okay.
courses on that and create itself, and I have also done financial risk management FRM level one. So I think those kind of things have helped me a lot this year because the interview went almost the way I wanted it to go. The flow was under control, that I can say, because I gave them a direction in what they can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apart from them, so I have put a lot of effort in the interview itself, and the effort has not been put in last 6 months. It has been put in the last 3 years. Other than that, for phase two, see, I love finance. So finance is not a much of a travel for me. I
Mm.
absolutely enjoy reading about financial topics. Management I also enjoy because it's a practical thing. I can see management happening in and around myself every day. ESI was a tough nut to crack for me. It has always been, especially the government schemes and the current affairs. So I had to put a lot of efforts for schemes, and I thought the material that are available in the market all are good, but none are comprehensive, especially for schemes. So I made my handmade notes for the schemes itself, and another important thing is revisioning, because a lot of factual information we have to remember
Yeah.
to crack the RBI examination. Even you can say in phase one also, a lot of quantitative data is coming nowadays. So what I did is I followed 24 hours 30-day strategy. Whatever I am reading today, I will revise it one day after tomorrow, and I will revise that 1 month. If I
Okay.
can do that, if I can do that, I have seen that even I do not get the time to revise just in front of the examination day, but if I can have revise it twice earlier, it should be okay.
Yeah.
It should be okay. Until and unless it is very minute, it should be okay. So I followed that.
Right. Very, very important key takeaway that sir used to revise it next day and then after a month.
Sorry.
So even before examination, because before examination now there's a lot to revise. So even if some
Exactly.
topics they do not
Exactly.
make it to the revision session before exam, there are somewhere they will be in the back end of your mind, and you will be able to have good
Correct.
guesses in the examination. So that's a very key takeaway for
Mhm.
all the aspirants. And one thing you mentioned that for schemes you made your own notes, right? So if somebody is going for self preparation, like how would you advise them, because these guidelines are 300 400 pages long? So did you used to refer that, or did you used to, online sites you used to refer, like how did you used to do that?
For schemes, ma'am, I have been trying to be as comprehensive as I can, because the question they're asking, not necessarily they are very important schemes socially, or they are not the schemes in circulation as well. There are very small schemes. They are asking questions, and the questions are very deep. Uh, so I have tried to be as comprehensive as I can. I have kept one coaching material as my base material, and on upon that I have tried to put some input that I have collected from Google, or
Mm,
say the PIB, the ministerial website, and the year-end report of the ministry,
mm,
or if the news is currently in news, that would be covered also in mostly in PIB.
yeah.
So I have got together those things and put together in the note itself, so that I can revise and I can remember as much as I could.
Right, true. Okay, and one more thing, like
Okay.
maybe many aspirants think that because it's like for years you have been preparing, so it would have been easier for you. And see, static does it remain same, but current affair is very heavily asked in the examination, right? And there we have the different section. You're talking about schemes, you're talking about reports. There are in general current affair is also that much, right? So did you also had like priority that okay, I'll just start off with scheme, then I'll go for reports, then I'll go for the generic awareness that is there, general awareness, or it was like the mixture of all, as you said that you keeping a coaching material as your base, so whatever be the content they are providing, just randomly doing that, or you had one sequence for it or strategy for it?
Uh, Madam, I think everyone should start with static part because without understanding the static part, the schemes and reports will just be filled as random information and
True.
which will not be recalled. If you can understand the topic, you can very well map the topics with the relevant schemes and reports that are coming in the current affairs because there are unlimited news. The current affair magazines are flooded with news, but as a aspirant, we need to filter the news and understand what is important for the examination and what not. And as a beginner, it was a big challenge for me. But as the time progresses, what I
Hmm.
could understand that what I can study and what I can leave. Because what
Yeah,
kind of effort I'm putting and what is the value I can extract from the effort I'm putting. That will
true.
come with experience. In the experience, can understand much better. Um, so that's it. And other than that, current affairs, it is a huge part. I'd say
Hmm.
because the depth of the current affairs are comparable to one of the toughest exams of the India as far as the uh, minuteness of the questions which is
Yeah,
being
true.
asked. So I think we need to study much deep than much wide because going deep will help. Going wide is not helping currently. So whatever you are studying, even if you are not able to cover everything, it's okay. But if whatever you are studying, you have to go deep because the questions are deep only.
True, true. It's right also because when in exam if you're covering everything and then you are not able to solve the answer, it becomes very frustrating at that moment. It's like you have studied about it, but you don't know that for a certain answer, and so there's no use of it. So even if you're covering one topic, prepare as such that you are able to answer any question if it is asked from it. So definitely this another key takeaway
Yeah.
which the aspirant should have from his journey. Okay. And let me ask you one thing also, right? So you said like for example, let have a base with the static theoretical knowledge and then current affairs seems easier comparatively. So like what was the
Yeah.
sources that you referred for finance and management static part or the economy static part of the syllabus?
For ESI, I had to refer to the coaching materials because there are a lot of books. Books are also good, but for books I need to compile it and I need to make
Yeah.
to customize it for the syllabus. I did not have time for that, so I had to depend on the coaching materials. Uh, that's it. And for finance, truly speaking, I have not gone through the static reports, static parts, because finance I have done a few courses, and the topics are more or less overlapping.
Yeah.
So I have covered it from there. And management, I have to study because the management is mostly static. And
Hmm.
nowadays, as the descriptive questions are coming, like in this year, both the 15 markers question in FM papers were from management only.
Yeah.
So it is very risky to leave out any topic overall because maybe you are risking 15 marks for the gain of 1 or 2 marks in the MCQ. So that is very risky. So management is also syllabus is kind of increasing day by day, I would say. From 2018 2023, the syllabus span has also increased. So I had to go through that. Then also I referred to my coaching material only for management.
Right. And if we talk about the descriptive writing, so did you always used to prepare after phase one? Like, what was your strategy that, for example, you have now 1 year after one cycle is completed, now you have 1 year. So did you used to start your practice for descriptive writing from the start itself, and then during phase one, like 1 or 2 months before phase one, you used to focus just on phase one, or you always had that I will study whatever I have to study generically, and after phase one is completed, then structuring of answers and everything I will do after phase one for the phase two? Like, what was the strategy that you followed?
So, ma'am, I'll be absolutely honest with you. I have never in my life practiced descriptive writing. Uh, I, I have written one answer, and that is in the exam itself. I have not written anywhere else. But I would never suggest it to anyone else because it has worked for me. I am lucky for that, but I don't think it is a very good strategy. I did not get actually enough time to practice. I was hoping that I would be able to practice, but I did not get any time to practice. But what I planned is any descriptive answer has two parts. One is content, one is
Hmm.
structure.
Hmm.
And content wise, if you can cover the static parts well as you can complement it with the current affairs things, your content will be shortened. But as aspirants, I think anyone who's writing phase two uh, has enough content with him because he has gone through the current affairs part and he must have gone through the static parts as well. However, putting it in a good structured way in the exam environment is a challenge, and that for that everyone need to practice. Actually, I work in a advanced portfolio of my bank,
Okay.
and I make hefty credit proposals every day. So I have a decent skill for drafting and making good writing paragraphs, and I have good decent typing speed as well. So that did help me in the making or framing my answers in the descriptive questions in the examination. But I understand that this would not be the case for everyone. So if someone is not feeling confident, he has to practice, and this practice have to come before phase one only because after phase one,
Yeah.
because it's a habit and it is not going to come in one day, right? So the earlier it start, the earlier it get into blood, and it will automatically come in the examination hall. Uh, so I think I would suggest everyone to start as soon as possible because whenever you are studying a static part, revise it and write it. It's a simple thing.
Right.
Actually, I planned it, but I could not execute myself because of time constraint like
But
that.
weren't you like scared, because like it was about multiple attempt as well, right? So but when you clear phase one, didn't you ever have that thought that what if because of not practicing it I might not able to clear? Maybe like such thoughts didn't they ever occur to you, that maybe you're risking it, or your family suggested, like, or any friend, like whoever with whom you were sharing, like didn't you have ever such thought that maybe you are risking not practicing?
I was scared about the content part, but truly speaking, I was confident about the drafting skill
Typing.
because I have,
Yeah.
yeah. So because I am doing the same thing each and every day out. So I think if I can get enough content, and I can write down the content in short in before I can start typing in the essay, I'd be okay.
Right.
Because keeping the content in a logical and rational order is the most challenging thing for me. uh,
True.
Typing was and drafting was okay.
Right. And if we talk about the descriptive English portion, so we have Pressy writing over there. Essay to chalo theek hai, you were studying, the content was there for you. But for you have Pressy also, letter also. So Pressy section, like did you practice 1 or 2 Pressys for just for the sake of understanding the?
Actually, I have been writing this kind of examination in 2018, and in every examination there is the same structure: Pressy, essay, and RC.
Hmm.
Something like that. The latest I write in SEBI Grade A in 2022, I believe. So in that thing, what I felt that I was struggling in the reading comprehension part, and Pressy,
Okay.
I was getting not getting enough time. Actually, time management in the English paper is a big thing. What I understood. So this time, what I did is I started with the RC part first, and it was kind of a tricky RC. in our phase two examination this year. So I did not keep any timeline for the RC. I thought that let's do it as much time as it would take. So I did the RC well. I read it 2 3 times and it went very well for me. And the Pressy, yes, I have practiced Pressy because it is more like understanding what I are saying rather than typing it. Because if you can understand what they are trying to say, you can very well gist it down. Because anyway, you have to be decent enough to draft any report.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that is the most required skill in the grade B job to start with at least. So trying to make sense of what you are reading, and that can only come through if you go through the newspapers, if you go through any good reports or essays yourself. So that will come to you. So Pressy was okay, but RC was tricky, but my RC went well, and I last attempted the essay because in essay I have complete control of whatever I am writing or whatever how much I want to write. So
Yeah.
yes, I had some time pressure for essay writing, but I would rather take the pressure on essay writing or rather than essay or RC because in essay or RC there is some specific questions that is being asked, and you have to think and you have to absolutely prompt to respond to those questions only. While in the essay, you can write whatever you want in the broad topic. So that is my
True.
strategy in this.
True, that's true. And those who are non-bankers currently watching the interview, you need not to worry that if you did not have prior experience of drafting the letters or such
Mhm.
essays or anything, there are various programs that are run by various institutions. You can just enroll yourself to the descriptive answer writing program, and that will help you during the examination. We also provide that. Okay. And now let's coming to the interview portion. So now interview you have
Yeah.
faced before, and you did not get marks as expected, and they say it was like of 75 marks, right? So what was the thing that you changed or modified in your preparation for interview, which you think one thing that you added that you did many of the certification course? But apart from that, how else did you prepare for the interview portion this time, so that this time the you can get good marks?
Yeah, ma'am. But for first of all, I tried to decorate my CV in a better way by doing those courses, relevant courses in last 3 years. That is one part. Another part, I went to interview with the attitude of a professional because I thought when I went in 2019, I had the attitude of a student and the learner, but they did not like the attitude of a student coming who is going to be grade B officer because I tried to change my attitude and there was lot of questions that I did not expect. It is correct, but I tried to address those questions as professionally as I could for because there will always be some unexpected questions in the interview. It cannot go 100% or whatever you are expecting. But I think whatever that I do expect is how we respond to that question, and I will try to solve the question that they are bringing at you. So I have tried to be professional. Is the word I think I would like to say, and I think it has worked well for me. I have got reasonably improved marks in the interview from whatever I got last, because I last time I got 13, I think. This time I got much more than that, and it has helped me to cross the final hurdle. Yeah.
Right. And did you refer to any mock test for
Yes,
interview?
ma'am. Yeah, yeah. Madam, I actually got into the mock interview program of EduTap of this year. And I took the mock interview, and the questions I got from mock interview was very relevant to the profile that I have put in front of them, and the input also was helpful to me to some extent, at least I would say. So yeah, that gave me more confidence in the actual interview. So I am
Right.
absolutely thankful to
And
EduTap
and
for
uh,
that.
how did your main interview go? Like, what sort of questions were asked? Were they just, only from your background, or there were some questions that were specific to RBI or something like that?
Uh, So, ma'am,
maybe some, the general HR questions that are asked.
no, ma'am, I did not get any HR
Like,
question,
what
not
were
any
the
sort.
questions that?
Uh, yeah, yeah. So, ma'am, actually, I had done some courses on central banking. So the chairman said picked it up from there only. So the first question I got was, what is impossible trinity? I knew most of it. I tried to answer it, and from there on, there was basic central banking theory courses questions, not even related to RBI. Like
Hmm,
I,
hmm,
I would not go into detail, but it is mostly about the theories of central banking. A little bit related to my back profile, investment
hmm.
financing, NBFCs, DICC, uh, something like that. But the questions were pretty unexpected, mostly. Mm, but there were some easy hanging fruits as well in between those. Like MSME financing, they asked Udyam registration, um, some of my work profiles, little bit about RBI, mostly about central banks all over the world, like Bank of England, Federal Bank, risk banks of Switzerland, and how they work, what is the philosophical difference of works, and what is the difference between their working and how RBI responded to COVID, and in general to any economy. So I thought it went okay, but I got marks which is I think is satisfactory.
Okay. And
That's it.
would you say that for when last time you gave interview, there means you were not able to present your answer, or maybe you were not altogether were able to answer? Like, what was that difference that you felt like in what you lacked in last interview, when now this time you were much more prepared and you got comparatively satisfactory marks?
Yeah, ma'am. So first of all, last time I think the CV that I presented before themselves was a generic one, and they started from everywhere, from economy, from my background, from my graduation, from my working knowledge, RBI, everything. And at that time, some questions were not. Um, some question was absolutely out of blue, and I was kind of got nervous, and that I think that nervousness had poisoned my interview from the very start itself.
Hmm.
I thought so. But this time also there were some unexpected questions, but I was expecting those unexpected questions this time, and I tried to forget and dodge them, and I did not let them to infect my other interview. So that is the,
Yeah.
I think, the most important difference, I think.
And did it happen this time that you were not able to like answer any question, so you just like said that you don't know about it?
Yes, lot of it. I think I was asked about 21, 22 questions, and I did not answer about 6 to 7 questions. But I
Okay.
was, yeah, but it is okay. But it is expected in any
Yeah.
interview. So
Right.
I was not very ashamed of it.
Right. So after the interview, like what was the feeling first of all after interview? That this time it was like more satisfactory. This sort of feeling you had, or you were again, because once we get through an examination until the result, we become self-critical. That maybe I could have answered this, maybe I could have answered that. I did not answer six to
Right, right.
seven questions. Maybe it can affect my performance, etc. So were there any thoughts that were running, and how you were handling them?
Yeah, see, my interview was on 4th October, and the final result came in 13th December. So that is 2 months.
Yeah.
I thought of everything that I could have. I thought it went great, and I thought it went as bad as it could have.
Yeah.
Everything flooded my mind. My immediate reaction when I went out of the interview room was, I don't know, I could have done better. That was my immediate reaction. Um, but I did not know how much time it went for. But the other
Yeah.
aspirants, which was sitting outside, told it was exceptionally long, like 25-30 minutes.
Okay.
I did not feel that it went up to that. I thought it
Yeah.
would be 10-20 minutes at best. So maybe after that I left thinking. let's see what it goes. I don't know because anyway the interview process is to some extent is kind of opaque. You exactly do not know what they are trying to
Yeah,
understand, what
true,
you're trying to look into yourself. So
true. Hmm.
you can only do what you can and hope for best. So that's it.
True. And finally, when the result came, so where were you at? And then you must have shared that with your family. And like, what was the response?
Yeah, ma'am. So it came in the evening. Uh, I think 6:37. I was in local coming back to my home. Uh, the funny thing is, someone told in the group, in the Telegram group, that EduTap itself has created for the interview experience. I was in that group and someone told the result is out. But unfortunately, the internet was down for me at that time. So because I was traveling through local and I had to wait 15-20 minutes almost to get access to the PDF. So that was kind of a very
Yeah,
a tricky time because you knew that result is out, your fate has been declared, but you don't get to check it.
true.
After that, I checked the PDF. Um, I knew if my roll number would have been there, it would have been in the uh, towards the end of the list because I am from the eastern part of the country, and
Yeah.
for us, the roll numbers are towards the end. It's a bigger number. So I uh, I remember the roll number. I did not have to check it from the admit card. I still remember it. So I checked it, and fortunately, it was all there. And I was kind of shaking, trembling, whatever you say.
Mm,
And there was my some colleagues was there who was sitting. We go together and we come back together in trains. So they were like, "Hi, Ritam, is it all okay? Are you feeling fine?" Because I was trembling, I was like, "Yes, I have not been any
mm.
better than this." But but I did not want to tell that news over phone to my family. It is
Mm,
almost 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I thought that I would go in front of them physically and give them the news, and I
yeah.
wanted to see their reactions first. And so when I got to home, I told them. I think my father, my mother, and my wife, mostly my mother and wife, they were crying, which was expected. It
Yeah.
was pure bliss, I would say,
Yeah.
pure bliss. Yeah, so I have not seen my family this happy in ever in my life due to of my reasons. So it is satisfactory. It is all the sacrifices and compromises that I have made, and my family have made more than myself. It
Yeah.
is what I would say. It is what. Now the
Right.
feeling has settled, and I'm more excited than anything because our joining is around the corner. So
Mm.
yeah,
Right, right. And definitely family does sacrifice, but I don't want you to undermine your efforts that you have made throughout the years with the job, with the family responsibility, everything. You also deserve that credit, definitely. And whatever hard work that you have put in, it has given you the result now. So yeah, so that was the story of Mr. Rhythm, how he cleared RBI Grade B and now soon to become my RBI Grade B officer with his perseverance and having that faith in himself that no matter what, how much time does it take, but he is going to be an RBI officer, and he made that happen. So thank you, sir, for joining with us and sharing your views, and we wish you all the very best for your future.
thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. It's a privilege to join and share my experience with EduTap, and I'm grateful to EduTap that I have got whatever service I have got from them. And I'm very thankful for that.
Thank you so much, sir.